All right, guys. I got something to say about this. There's someone posted in the broadcast I was watching a rebroadcast of NBC News. I usually can't. I don't watch it at night. A lot of times I'm too busy either eating or watching a movie or TV show or something. But I usually watch it on YouTube. Like sometime after their initial live broadcast, or I will watch it the next day. So, what's going on with traffic this morning? Well, anyway, to make a long story short, let me talk about it. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right. First thing first, guys. I was watching the nightly news broadcast. They usually you can watch the replays on YouTube. The entire broadcast, matter of fact. Of course, they take out about 12 minutes of commercials, but it actually is very fast pace without the commercials. But nevertheless, I watched it, and someone had typed in the comment section said something about warnings weren't missed; they were ignored. And that's a great time for this. Warnings weren't missed; they were ignored, and that's true. It's obvious. Even in the broadcast that I watched, the NBC Nightly News broadcast, they even showed police officers. No joke. They showed police officers literally. What's going on with this traffic, man? They literally show police officers, and this is no joke, breaking down the barriers and letting those Trump supporter terrorists into the Capitol. There's actual video footage of that, courtesy of NBC News. I am not kidding. I even saw pictures of police officers, both DC and Capitol Hill police officers, some of them were taking pictures with these guys, man. So it's obviously that it was ignored. They didn't really expound too much on the fact that there's some officers that might have been in on this mess. I wouldn't be surprised. Now I have new understanding about why they want to defund the police. You know, but I think it should be based on the things that these departments do and don't do, to be honest. I think it should be solely based on that and not much else. What's going on here today? And because it's gotten to a point now that these guys, not that they were unprepared, but they didn't come in intentionally to be prepared for it because they knew what was going down. This was known for weeks that these organizations, or now I refer to as terrorist organizations, were coming out there the entire time. The entire time. That in itself is weird. And no one prepared for it because they ignored it. They knew this mess was going down the entire time. The Capitol Hill police knew about it. The DC police knew about it. All of the so-called protective agencies knew about it. You know, the entire damn time. And of course, Trump facilitated. And then he wants to back down at the last minute. Trump did this mess and condoned it to prove a point. To send a message. That's why he was out there. He did it to send a message. And now, Pelosi and company wants to invoke a 25th Amendment, which is really virtually almost too little too late, as far as I'm concerned. If you were going to invoke a 25th Amendment, you would invoke it the moment you heard the things Trump said about COVID in the first place. Because he never took it seriously. That's what you guys should have really thought about that. But no one thought about it. No one gave a damn. No one cared. Trump was a threat from day one. You heard it here on my podcast more than 4 years ago. I talked about this before he became a serious candidate. When he was talking about Obama and the so-called birther movement. Okay? Which in itself is a joke. Alright? I've been talked about that. People like myself, people like TBA, the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, many of us and others have all talked about how dangerous Donald Trump was from day one, and no one listened. I even heard other black folks out there talking about, but Donald Trump going to help people get jobs. He a business man. I've heard this. I've heard some of this from people who I know who said that. But it goes to show you how dangerous guys like Donald Trump always was. His father has ties with had racist ties with racist organizations like the KKK. That was well documented. Okay, Trump and his father had been sued by black folks who they try to muscle out of an apartment complex in New York City. Okay, so Trump has been an evil guy for a long time. Long time. The guy has defaulted on loans left and right. Okay? He filed for bankruptcy numerous times. This is all before he became president. This was all public documented news. Okay? This was all out there. This has all been documented, well documented before he became president. But because the goofy ass American public was so in love with Donald Trump's dirty draws and the history of his shows, The Apprentice. I used to watch The Apprentice. It was one of my favorite shows too. I'm not gonna lie. But I would never put that. I would never vote that guy in for president. No, he's a joke. He's a joke. He was a joke from day one. Always have been. This guy doesn't care about you. He never did. This guy come from money. You think he really cares? He doesn't know what it's like to have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go feed his kids. He don't know that. He never knew that. He don't know what it's like to have to struggle maybe with somebody up in places like my hometown, Cleveland, get up at 3:30 in the morning to get ready for work to go out in that cold ass winter, like my father did, God rest his soul. You know, to make sure his kids got fed, to try to get them a better help, build them a better life. Donald Trump never knew that. He didn't know as a child. He didn't know as a man, or whatever he is. Never experienced it. But by the same token, he doesn't have respect for people who have. And that includes his own constituents. He don't care about them folks. He just uses them folks. And if any of you guys listen to my podcast, you need to understand, he doesn't give a shit about you. Never did. He's using you. He's been using you. He talked that junk about, America great again, all the blah, 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 blah. But really, he's only doing it to save his own ass. And y'all know he is. He's clearly doing it to save his own ass. He doesn't have two fucks to give about you. He really don't. He really don't. I'm not saying that Biden's any better. I know he ain't much better for black folks. Donald Trump is for white folks. That's a fact. But I am saying that many of these politicians don't give a damn about. You know what? They give a fuck about one thing, and that's power. Power is the only thing that's ever been on their mind. And that power means tangibles, money, moolah. That's their main forte into it. They don't care about you. They don't. They don't care about any of us. But that's another story, you know. But like I said, I don't condone violence. What happened at the Capitol from the most terrorists, supporter terrorists, or what I call them supporter terrorists, was an abomination. It should have never happened. But it was allowed. Yes, I'm saying it was allowed. Because those guys knew about this for weeks, for months, really. Never prepared for that. Talking about, oh, we missed the warnings. How can you miss the warnings when it was clear cut what the warnings were? Trump even talked about walking down there. Okay? They've been talking about rallies down to the Capitol for weeks. They knew this was going down. Y'all knew it was going down. Come on. It was a clear-cut setup if I ever saw one. It was already in the making, in the works the entire time. When you got racist guys coming down there with guns and coolers full of Molotov cocktails, they were coming prepared to do damage. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care too much for politicians myself, but you have to understand this. Politicians are people like everybody else. They have feelings, they got families too. And I will say that. They have livelihoods, they do. You know, regardless of whether they make a lot of money or not. The last thing I would think about, and I wouldn't even dream of trying to hurt anybody. I'm not that kind of person. I don't even wish it on any of them. I really don't, personally. That's just me. Because what happened that day was atrocious. I will say that no one prepared for it, though. That's for damn sure. They did not prepare for it. They had no intention of doing that. At all. And it was intentional that they weren't going to prepare for it. This is on purpose. This is on purpose. They weren't going to do it from day one. The thing of it is that this whole situation was allowed to happen. It was allowed to happen by sheer ignorance of, oh well. We thought this was going to be, and someone actually posted, I forgot who it was. What I'll do, I will literally do another podcast and read what they said. But I know it was something about the First Amendment. We thought it was going to be, I think it was one of the chiefs of the police. I don't know which one was Capitol Hill. I think it was Capitol Hill police officer or somebody said it. Don't quote me on that. But I know they said something about, and I'm paraphrasing, about we were expecting the First Amendment people. That's their excuse. We were expecting the First Amendment protesters, not attackers. That's the lame-ass response to that, to what happened the other day was. We didn't expect them to attack. It's the bullshit that they said. Not like they've never done it before. Not like they didn't do it the last time they was here, which was about a month ago, when they burned down the Black Lives Matter banners at black churches. So you think because they burned Black Lives Matter banners at black churches means they're not going to do anything else? First of all, just the fact that they were burning Black Lives Matter banners at black churches on their property at that should have gave you a clue that they were violent to begin with. My throat. Don't call my throat today. You should have thought that from the start. The very moment you saw that, say, look, nope, we're not going to license any protests out here. No, we're not going to sign up on this. until we get to the bottom of who actually did all that stuff. And they didn't do that. Oh, yeah. They're only going to fuck with the black folks, so it's okay for you guys to come on down. Really? This is how stupid these people are, man. These people are that damn stupid. They are that damn stupid. They are that damn ignorant. Well, I don't know about my throat today, but this is crazy. The insanity is real. And the ignorance and the plain out disrespect of what they did is beyond atrocious, man. Our democracy, for lack of a better word, is entangled into an entanglement, so to speak, with bullshit and lies and deception. That's what this is about. You know, our president, who many Republicans knew this was going down, and they waited or decided to think, oh, they'll be all right. They can do what they want. Now all of a sudden these guys got to change their heart. Fuck out of here. It's bullshit from day one. It really was. Something like this should have never happened. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been to the Capitol myself many years ago when I worked over there, servicing copiers. I used to work for a copier company. And I'll be honest with you, I never expected that. Even I didn't. And I've been out there before myself. You know. Because usually they're pretty strict up there. But for them to allow that mess to happen the way it did, which is what happened, to me, was an inside job. That's just my opinion on it. I'm not stating this being a fact, but my opinion is I think it was an inside job. I think these were, based on videos that I saw, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be a bit surprised by it. Because that's the way it came off to me. But, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We do know that one thing I give them credit for, that the Congress came back in session and they ratified the Electoral College and confirmed that Biden will be president of the United States, the 46th president of the United States, and Donald Trump will not be serving 4 more years. That's been confirmed. Thank God. You know, even Trump himself said we're going to have a peaceful transition of power, although he still has not conceded. See, that still bothers me because he left wiggle room for Father. He did. Still, he's up to something, man. I hope not, but I don't know. Why do I have a feeling he is? Just based on what he said. You know, that in itself is ridiculous, man. No wonder they want to invoke the 25th Amendment on this douchebag. You know, that I can understand. All right, guys.